probably the only dream school that I had, only because like I pretty much grew up here. My dad went here, like he moved from Jamaica to come here. My stepmom went here, my aunt, my uncle, my cousins go here with me. So it's just like a family school, and I just wanted to keep it in the family pretty much. So I really thought it was gonna be a magical experience.
It was a new place because it was my freshman year. So everything was just new. Everything was, I don't know, I was really happy to be there. Like, I don't know, it's kind of like when you get a new puppy. No, honestly, I was just really happy to be there. It wasn't really foreign to me, like I wasn't scared. It was just like new ground. It was so much stuff to explore and to learn about.
Like literally the day that I moved in, I ended up going to a party. So like I think that was a pretty interesting way to start my Howard experience, but I immediately kind of noticed the vibes of older guys trying to talk to us, especially because we were freshmen, and you could tell we were freshmen. So they made it a point to introduce themselves, and you kind of got that vibe immediately, like literally moving in. So
I was a transfer student, so I was like happy to finally be here. I'm like, okay, this is it, I made it. Like, I was proud of myself. I worked hard to be able to get here and get my scholarship and all that stuff, so I was happy.
Homecoming or anytime there's like events like SpringFest or like even the beginning of the year when like everybody's out, like when the sun goes out, it's not the same. Definitely not like at parties or whatever. Like you just have to be aware of your surroundings all the time.
I walk around at night by myself sometimes. I feel bold enough to do that, I guess. But when it comes to like being out at parties and stuff, I feel like I've been fortunate because I have a lot of male friends. So in that sense, yes, I do feel safe. But like because of the campus itself or campus police or administration, I wouldn't say they particularly make me feel any safer.
I never had pepper spray, tasers. I've never walked around with that, so I never felt the need to. But now, like, I still don't have it, but I am looking into it because people are just crazy and I don't have time. I just don't have time.
I wouldn't say Howard has a problem. I think this world has a problem with it. I mean, when you look at the whole thing under the Obama administration investigating sexual assaults on college campuses, it wasn't just because it was happening at Howard, it was happening at multiple different universities. And to be honest, if you go to like any university and you just chill and just watch, like, look out and you're at a party and you see some stuff, you're going bound to see like some little bit of groping that's not consensual and some suspect stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really think it's a Howard thing. I think it's just, really it's a college thing, unfortunately. I think here at Howard a lot of stuff gets blown up and a lot of students take to social media to express their dislike with pretty much everything. It's like Frederick doesn't do something, you'll see it on Twitter tomorrow, or like, 20 minutes later. But I just think it gets blown up a lot more here than a lot of other places.
I feel like it's a problem on every campus, but particularly at Howard. I think when you add in sexism, and even though you take out the racism, but there's still, sexism is very prevalent on our campus. So of course, taking advantage of women, assaulting women, and raping women is also a problem too.
It's probably one of the biggest problems on our campus, and I kind of realized that more once, like, I would just be talking to somebody about what I wanted to do on campus or like the awareness I would try to raise on campus regarding the issue, and they didn't really express any type of like surprises. Like they weren't surprised about what I was saying. And then like near the end of the conversation, they would like reveal to me like, oh yeah, I was sexually assaulted too.
Honestly, like, just having people actually look into these cases, or like making the women on campus feel as though they can actually come out and talk about it, rather than having it like say on Twitter, like, these are the orgs that you have to stay away from, or like these are like the 5 guys that are in HU whatever class that you have to stay away from. It's not a thing where anybody's receiving any repercussions. It's just like, be aware. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to have to be aware. Like, I want you to do something about it. Yeah, Title IX is a thing, but I think a lot of people are especially like weary of coming out.
Consent. It wasn't like a deep conversation until I got to Howard and I was doing like RA training, and we were talking to the Title IX coordinator about, you know, what exactly is consent and what it looks like. You know, previously, before coming to Howard, I didn't know anything about that. I mean, of course, yeah, you're supposed to have, she's supposed to agree to it, but it's like actually having a conversation, you know what I'm saying? A lot of men just, I don't think they experience that before they come to college about, you know, if she has like any type of alcohol, she can't consent. I mean, even if you're drunk and she's drunk, y'all both can't consent. Like, just educating people on what that is and like the much deeper aspect of it with, you know, just saying yes. And if she's like, if she's sober enough to consent. But I think that at Howard, that actually needs to be a part of like, you know, freshman seminar, and it needs to be a little bit more in depth and, you know, kind of give more scenarios so it can be very, very transparent and like help young men understand what exactly consent is and what it all looks like and what you should and shouldn't do.
Stopping sexual assault, like, you have to change people's minds. Like, you have to, because that's something like you grow up thinking is okay, that's ingrained in like culturally what's okay for you. So it's hard to break a stigma like that, even though we have like a lot of training and stuff that's supposed to help. But I mean, how do you change someone's way that they are? How do you make people respect women?
The first count I remember taking, it was 3 girls to 4 or 5 niggas. I'm like, okay, whatever, it's fine. So we sit down and there's liquor on the table. I'm like, this is not, you said you was gonna smoke us out. So, but we're like, you know what, fuck it. Like, we here, we can't even, how the fuck we gonna get home? Like, so then we all start, so then they're like, oh, have you guys ever played King's Cup? If you don't know how to play King's Cup, it's like, you know, like with the card game. So it's like, I think like an ace is a shot, or I don't know. It's just, it's a game designed to get you fucked up. The next thing I remember was like, I'm all about my pride. So like, they tried to call me pussy or whatever. And so I was like, no, like I'm not that drunk. Like, I remember standing up and everything just went woozy. And I was like, sit down. So I sat down. I was like, okay, this is it for me. Like, I'm done. Like, we need to go. And then I remember taking another head count, and the next thing I know, like, it was like 8, 9 niggas there. I'm like, bro, where did all of these niggas come from? Like, when did they get here? And so I kept asking the dude who invited us there, I was like, can I get some water? Mind you, the way the house is set up, like, it's set up like sort of how like mine is, where like everything is open in the front room, like you can see into the kitchen. So he's like, yeah, I got some bottled water in my room. And I was like, nah, my nigga, I can drink tap out the faucet. Like, he like, no, come on, I got some bottled water. I'm like, nah, my nigga, I'm looking at the kitchen. Like, you could, why can't have no water from the kitchen? So I don't know what happened after that. But then I just remember like, I remember at one point I stood up in the middle of everybody because I just remember talking to some niggas I did not know. And I was like, y'all not gonna rape me here tonight. And they was like, what the fuck? Like, no, T, like, we not on that, da-da-da. I'm like, my nigga, all of this is hella shady. Like, I'm drunk as hell. So I remember, like, okay, I have to pee at this point. So I'm going to the bathroom, try to go pee. And I don't know what in me made me lock the door. But thank God I did, because, mind you, my 2 other friends we're all drunk off our asses. Like, there's a whole Snapchat video where, like, I'm missing for, like, a good 10 to 15 minutes. Like, I don't even know where I was. And so, like, I locked the bathroom door, and all I heard was, like, somebody, like, trying forcefully to get into the bathroom. I'm like, bro, what's really going on? And I come out the bathroom, and it's the nigga standing there who's trying to, like, get me to get some water from upstairs. He like, yeah, like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, like, I just had to pee. Like, it's fine. And so, like, I tried to make my way back to my friends, and I never ended up making my way back there, because the next thing I know, it's, like, 2 to 3 niggas, like, literally dragging me upstairs. They get me all the way damn near to, like, the top of the stairs, and she's like, yo, like, she's not even walking. Like, what's going on? So at this time, she's like, no, like, we're out, like, we're leaving. And I just don't remember anything else. Like, I just remember, like, waking up in my room the next day. I already knew something had to have happened to me within the 10 minutes that nobody could find me, because of the simple fact that, like, we were in the caf probably, like, 2 days later, and they were all sitting, you know, like, in Blackburn where, like, that round table is, like, right when you walk in. They were all sitting there, and, like, I just got, like, cold shudders. And then, like, they walked up on me and was like, hey, Tia, like, what's up? I'm like, bro, don't talk to me. Like, what are you... And, like, one of them, the one that, like, another one from Michigan, they sent him over specifically. It was like, what do you remember? I'm like, what am I supposed to remember? Like, what? I'm like, so you know I was fucked up. And they were like, yeah. Like, I'm like, I don't remember anything. Like, they're like, oh, okay, cool. And then just walked away.
My assault happened in February, like Super Bowl night, February. And I had to have been working there for like a month. So, okay, sorry. I was assaulted by my coworker that I had known for about a month, because I just started working there. And he was somebody that I considered my friend. Like, you know, like, we would talk about stuff, we would go to the grocery store, but I would never, like, be with him by myself. And it was never the case where, like, I was attracted to him in any way, shape, or form. Like, I just was not interested. I was talking to somebody else, and yeah, so there was no mixed signals, there's nothing like that. So, like, on Super Bowl night, a group of us, like, went grocery shopping, and, like, we got stuff to make, like, a Super Bowl party in the dorm. We cooked, we ate, watched the Super Bowl. Afterwards, I went to my room with my friend, which was my co-RA too, and she wanted to watch A Different World, because I was binge watching it. So I was trying to put her on. And she texted him to get, like, I'm not even gonna lie. She texted him to get, like, a bottle of Smirnoff from her, because he helped us buy it. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna text him for him to come get it. He knocked on the door, he came, she opened the door, he got it, he drank all of it, like, at once. Like, he just chugged it back. And we thought that was weird. That was, like, the first red flag. And he was just like, oh, I'm not gonna hang out with you guys tonight. I have other stuff to do. Like, I'm busy. And we were just like, okay, that's fine. We don't really care. We're watching TV. Bye. And so he left. And then maybe an hour, 45 minutes later, we heard a knock at my door, and she went to go answer, because by this time I was, like, already in my bed, like, tucked in, and she was, like, on my couch watching TV. And he came back, and, like, he got another bottle of the Smirnoff, and he drank that all too. And we were just like, oh, we thought you were busy, like, why are you back? What's the problem? But we didn't really think too much of it in that case, or, like, at that time. He laid on top of my comforter and was, like, falling asleep. So it was a point where like we heard him snoring, and I was looking at my friend. I was just like, is this man really sleeping? Like, is this what's happening right now? So like she got up and she went to her room to go check on her boyfriend. And so when she came back in the room, we were still texting just in case like he wasn't really sleeping and he could hear us. So we just kept texting. And she was just like, oh, I don't know, maybe we should like tap him and tell him to go downstairs. So I tapped him. I was like, don't you want to go to sleep in your room downstairs? Like, it's getting late, like, you know, that type of stuff. And he just like rolled over and said no. And then I guess I was like, I don't know what the right word is. I was just like, okay, like, whatever, I guess you're tired. This is somebody still that I trust or whatever. Well, not trust, well, I guess I did trust him because I was naive back then, but this is somebody I consider my friend. So I was like, okay, you're tired, you're already sleeping, I'm gonna just leave you there, that's fine. So my friend left. I fell asleep at like 1 a.m. That was like the last time I looked at on my phone. And I just remember trying to like make as much space as I could. Like, I just didn't want to be like, you know, touching on him while I'm sleeping. And yeah, but I guess that didn't work because I woke up to like somebody touching me in the middle of the night. And I didn't wake up at first because like, I guess like it was nothing like out of the ordinary because the person that I would talk to, like, they usually did that and that was okay. Like, I was fine with them doing that to me because it's somebody that I liked and I was talking to. But then he like turned me around to like kiss me, and then I woke up, like I opened my eyes and I saw it was him, and I was just like stuck. I was like, whoa. Like, I just like woke up confused as hell and I didn't know what to do, like what to say. Like, all I did was like shake my head no, and I'm guessing like all he took that for was like, oh, I didn't want to kiss him or something, I don't know. And he just kept going and he didn't stop until like the condom broke.
Speaking as like a friend of a victim, it's fucked up because I wish that I personally could have helped in the situation, because a lot of times like it is people that you know that assault you and that do the assaulting. So it's fucked up to not be able to help that person and have to see them go through those emotions, because there's no way. You can't just get over that. That's something that takes years for you to process, and you have to go through all those emotions to feel that and to fully heal from it. I definitely can relate to having to go through all those emotions, and then seeing it happen to other people, it makes you feel really helpless. From the perspective of one of my friends being accused of that, it's crazy to think that you can hang out with somebody every day, you can be around them all the time in all types of settings, and like you could trust that person like to never hurt you in any way like that, and they go around and do that to somebody else. That's fucked up. And it makes you like question every moment that you ever spend with that person. It makes you not want to fuck with them on a level no more, and you can't. And it's crazy when I see people like they know that their guy friend did something to a girl, even if you don't know the girl, but like she did something to some girl, and you still okay with that, like you still hang out with this person, like that's just not okay.